This is Dick Payne reporting for DPR News, and I've had a suggestion to do some urban exploring, so I thought, yeah, okay, why not? I found a place, and it's a mental health asylum, or it used to be, in Sleaford, Lincolnshire. And we're just going to take a wander around and see what this is all about, you know. I mean, I'll try anything these days, you know. If you've got any suggestions, as long as it's in Lincolnshire, really, then yeah, I'm game, you know. At the moment, I'm particularly interested in, you know, you get those old sort of Viking crafts and things, those sort of fairs and events. At the minute, I'm looking to find one of them. So if anyone's watching this that knows of any events like that where they have like Viking reenactments or you know, anything like that, or a festival where they do all the crafts and everything, let me know, please. I'd love to visit one of them. Right, I'm going to flip the camera around and then we'll go and take some looky looks. Yeah? Yeah! So flipped around and here we go. We are in Sleaford, Lincolnshire. This is all an abandoned plot. I believe that there is the asylum. I believe some of these were barracks at one point, but obviously it's all just been abandoned. So you've got all the buildings here. It really is a shame because you've got some lovely buildings, and apparently they're just sitting here doing nothing. So I don't see why the government doesn't buy these. You could turn this into a invaders village in no time. It'd be so easy. But you know, each to their own, whatever they want to do. So there's the old clock tower, look. So imagine this would have been the hub, so to speak, at some point. And all these are barricaded up, but somebody has left some wood to climb into. I'm just going to put that down for a moment. Oh. This video. But someone left some wood to climb into this building. And as you can see, there's not a lot left in here, but rubble. But imagine that, this room being used again. That'd be lovely. Look, bay windows, big fireplace. Good God, why has nobody bought this and then converted it into something? You know, it's just a cupboard or maybe a pantry or something. Maybe that used to be, mind you, if it is a hospital, an asylum centre, probably a place to put all documents and stuff, paperwork. Lovely fireplace again there, beautiful. It's all red brick as well, so it's a good strong structure. That I'd imagine has just been kicked in. I'd imagine at one point they were some lovely French doors or patio doors, most likely French doors actually for the age of the building. But at some point they've been blocked up and then they've been kicked through by youths, I imagine. But look at that. You could restore that. You could restore that, have a great big lovely double door entrance. And it'd be lovely. I'd imagine this is reception because you've got that little window there, which wouldn't be of any use if this was converted into a house. So you'd probably just brick that up. I'd imagine this used to be a lift, maybe. No, maybe not. That's all solid. That's concrete, so it couldn't have been. Maybe another reception, as it's got the little window there, perhaps. But again, if you wanted a lift, that'd be so easy to convert into a lift shaft, no problem. Lovely little room there, look. Have that as some great storage. This would make a fantastic house. If I had any money, I would definitely be looking to buy this and to redo it as a fuck off great big house. Lovely fireplace again there. I don't know about you, but I love fireplaces. I love to have a roaring fire in the winter. Let's take a wander upstairs. And there are all the surrounding buildings they're just abandoned. They do nothing. There is some site work going on next door. I believe is a church. But yeah, lads, before I leave, I can hear pigeons. I can hear pigeons in it. So at least someone's getting some use out of it. But look, imagine this as a hallway. It is huge. The camera may not do it justice, but this is absolutely huge. It's beautiful. Great big lovely window there. More fireplaces in every room. Look how big that room is. Holy fuck. Someone desperately needs to buy this up. Great big bay window, look. Oh my God. You see, I don't think you get this kind of thought process with standard urban explorers. I've done a lot of building work over my career. I'm a MVQ level 3 qualified electrician, level 2 qualified plumber, level 2 qualified carpenter, and I also do a lot of building work because family just always wanted me to do it, so I just got the paperwork for it, and yeah, I've I always took to it and got it done. But yeah, look at that again. This would be a fantastic bedroom. It's huge. You could have a fireplace in your bedroom. Lovely bay window there. Oh man, just think, you could, if you had a family, you could have this as the bedroom. There's presumably the master bedroom. Let's see what else is available in this house for designation of the master bedroom. and then you've got this room here that you could have as another bedroom. Or if you've got that much money and no kids, you could leave this doorway here, have that as the entry exit to the master bedroom, and then have this as a great big fuck off what do you call it, walk-in wardrobe. And that'd be a huge walk-in wardrobe. Oh man, if I had the money, I'd be all over this like a fly on shit. That's the same room. But every room has got a fireplace, and I would definitely get those working again, without a doubt. Even this, which will probably be, from what I can see at the moment, one of the smaller rooms. This is bigger than some of the master bedrooms you get in new builds these days, which is quite... Look, that would make a fantastic sized bathroom. Lovely, lovely bathroom you could have in there. In fact, what I was saying about the walk-in wardrobe here, if you didn't have kids or anything, having that room as the master bedroom, you could separate a section of this off and have this as a walk-in wardrobe / ensuite bathroom. Because you've got all the room in the world to fucking do it and play about with it. It'd be lovely. It'd be fantastic. Another bedroom here, look. Fireplace again. Oh, fantastic. All the rafters and everything, they all still look good. you wouldn't. You wouldn't need to do too much structural work here. It would just be cleaning it up. Oh my God! Look at this. Fantastic. We don't build things like this anymore. So why not preserve these beautiful buildings that we have built? And again, you've got a lovely fireplace in it. Britain, just sort yourself out. Look, I wouldn't even bother. You'd probably plaster all these walls around here, right? Probably leave the chimney breast, because they've put proper angles and everything on the brickwork. Can you see that there? You'd want to keep that. That'd look nice. And then you've got the cutouts into the walls here as well that look fantastic. So again, you'd clean that up, but not plaster it, and just keep that looking, true to the original architecture. And I mean, look at these. Look at these splitters for the windows. Look at that. That is some beautiful work. We don't build anything like this anymore. So preserve what we do have, for God's sake. Oh my God, you've got the little terraces up there. I'm going to have to angle that for both cameras. Can you see that above you've got little terrace bits? Oh my God, it looks... Oh, do you know what? I was expecting to come in here and just do... Oh, it looks as if somebody's been chasing outlet for electrics. Maybe this was going to be converted at one point. And then, I don't know. Somebody needs to get back on it though, definitely. This would be a phenomenal house or a shit rundown. You could have another bathroom there. It's just a small, you probably can't see. So again, you could have another bathroom there at the end. Just... what a waste. What an absolute waste. And what a shame that it's just been left to rot like this. Oh, there's more chase outs of electricians. So I think at one point this would have been... that rafter would have to be replaced because it's dropped. So that would need to be replaced. What a shame that this has just been left to rot. Look at the archway over the stairs. It's just beautiful. And again, you'd plaster all these walls, but leave that arch there, bare brick, and it looks so gorgeous. Just, I can't get my head around it. Just what an absolute waste. We don't build like this anymore. So please, someone, buy this, restore it to its... I mean, obviously you'd have to modernise it, but restore it to its former glory, if not better. And then you've got a great big fuck-off house here. Look at that archway you could have as your front entrance. And then in the archway here, which would be your porch, you could just have coat racks there, wardrobes there. Cupboards there. Coat racks, keys. You put your little table there. Throw your keys on at the end of the day. Maybe put a bowl on the table. Throw your keys on there at the end of the day. The end of a hard work day. I'm glad I haven't got to climb through that to get out of here. It would appear the kids that frequent this area have been kind and installed another method to get in and out. So can't really blame them. Where shall I go next? My partner has actually said that she would like to come along and take a look, see what this is all about, and I think I might bring her back here. But look at that. Imagine restoring that, having that as your house. There's obviously been a structure there that's been knocked down. But what a shame. What an absolute shame. Let's take a wander over to this place. I've been in the gym today, and I've been doing cardio. So I was already a bit worn out before I got here. There's another building around the back there, look. So I was already a bit worn out before I got here. And it seems it's just going to be one of those days where I'm just going to be walking all day. These may be a little bit more difficult to get into because it doesn't appear that the kids are as interested in these buildings. They're all overgrown. But what a shame, man. You know, this is England. We're just letting everything fall apart. That, I presume, used to be some kind of summer room, maybe a greenhouse of sorts, maybe a beautiful greenhouse. Grow some plants. This would have been the bathroom. Maybe not, actually. See, even here, I even want to look down here. So if you bought this place and became a murderer, that is basically where you'd stash the bodies, and you'd never get caught. You'd obviously make that some kind of hidden wall, and then you'd never get caught. Let's go up the steps. I should be able to get through the whole building. Let's see if okay, that makes no difference whatsoever. Has this got a light on it? These Pixel phones are a wee bit complicated. The Samsung, I've got two phones, I've got a Samsung and a Pixel. And the Samsung is so much easier to use. So it's incredibly dark here. But we're going to press forward. Obviously that's just because all the windows there are all boarded up. Again, what a shame. So this is just looks like a hall. I presume that was a bathroom because you've got the pipe going out the wall there, so that would have been for sewage and whatnot, I would have thought. And then you've got just rooms by the looks of it. Can you see all of that? Just rooms that would have been occupied by some very sick people. Some very ill people. Wow. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but this room is absolutely huge. It's massive. And then you go through, you've got another fairly big room. You've got quite a lot of water damage in this building now, actually. So I'd imagine the integrity of the roof has been compromised and so this would be considerably more expensive than the other building to renovate, because I'd imagine above these boards, the roof and the joists, the rafters, I'd imagine they are all fuck the Tories, damn straight. Amazing. And it genuinely annoys me to see buildings of this beauty. Look at that, it's lovely. Imagine that restored, all of that crap cleared away. So you could have some lovely grounds here, and put this back into use for something. Jesus. You know, maybe, do you know what? Maybe if you put some invaders in this place, maybe they would take a bit of pride in the building because it is so rare looking and beautiful. Maybe they would sort of understand British culture rather than putting them in these crappy hotels that always just get the cheapest work done and look crap. So I genuinely don't see. Do you know what? If the government said, we'll restore buildings in the UK, but look at this, look at the size of the rooms, Jesus. If the government said, we'll restore buildings in the UK for the invaders, at least then you've got a little bit of, well, you know, a little bit of joy there. At least you can say, well, you know, they're restoring some of the most beautiful buildings in Britain. I mean, obviously, you're never going to be happy about invaders. But, I mean, if they just fixed places like this up, you wouldn't mind as much because you would just think, well, yeah, when they bugger off, that building that was derelict, run down, just falling apart, will be able to be used for something again. And with Britain the way it is now, with the housing crisis, etc., etc., why aren't we putting these buildings back into purpose? I mean, look at that. You could make all these buildings invader bedrooms. You could have a football pitch down there. They could have the time of their lives. Fucking hell, I'd love it. Is this one recording? I don't know. This, like I said, this Pixel phone, it does annoy me a little bit because my Samsung is showing me how long I've been filming, and the Pixel is not. Does that mean it's not recording? I don't know. It's a fairly new phone. It could just, and again, this building, look. Wonderful. So the reason that I have two phones is because of the way that apps work these days. I have, there'd be another room, look. Nothing wrong with that. Another one. Yeah, the reason that I have two phones is because some apps will only let you upload. Well, they will use the screen in portrait, and other apps will use the full screen in landscape. And so I hate watching videos when you have to go against the will of the app, so to speak. Look, that's completely dropped through. But again, look at the architecture along that building, where the soffit would be. And it's just a waste. Look at it. It's absolutely just a fucking waste. It pisses me off. It really does. I shouldn't be getting angry about this, but it does. It just annoys me. Another massive room. That is huge. And this room in itself is massive. Bay windows again. So this one I wouldn't be as interested in converting to a house, obviously, because it's way too big and it needs way too much work done into it. But for the government, money is not really a fucking problem because they got all of ours, haven't they? That looks creepy as hell. Look at that. They need to film a movie here. Very creepy. Great big loft hatch there that I've just noticed. Let's see if we can look through at the joists. No, do you know what? They could be, some of them are fucked, others could be reused. Because the planks that are going across on top of the actual rafters themselves have protected quite a few of them, actually. Yeah. But yeah, this would cost millions. But yeah, it's worth it, for God's sake. It's worth it just to restore this to its former glory. Let's go down no, let's not actually. Let's go back out and into another building, because to be honest, I've got my building head on now. And I want to know which of these buildings, it's turned into a game for me now. I want to know which buildings I would convert into properties for either people to live in or some sort of function. that one at the front, I'd grab that if I had the money. Like if somebody said to me, you could buy that for, I don't know, 500,000, let's say, because it's in Lincolnshire, 500,000, and I had 2 million, I'd probably go for that, to be honest. I'd probably be like, yeah, all right, and yeah, I'll go for that. And little pigeon, there's another one, and go for it. That obviously used to be a bathroom. These were probably punishment cells. You've got 2 baths in there. Just what a shame. I hate seeing beautiful buildings like this just going to ruin. And it's going to ruin. It's not gone to ruin, it's going to ruin. Because these buildings, pardon me, these buildings, these structures could be, oh, it's dark, I can't see the steps, there they are, could be restored and used in a time when we don't have enough buildings. So Keir Starmer, if you see this, please visit this site and put it to some use again. Restore the former glory. Jesus, look. I assume that's where the other steps was that I just decided not to go through. My partner wants to come here next week, so maybe we'll take a wander through there then. But that one there, I want to look in that one there. That one looks as if that would be a lovely house. I did think to myself, I won't put my microphones on because there's no ambient sound here to sort of block out with the microphones. But now there's a guy probably on what sounds like a sit-on lawnmower cutting grass, so I hope you can still hear me. Look at that. Obviously that's all wood, that you just have to knock that down, but this, let's have a look. Weird little loft hatch there. Again, keep that a secret. You could stash some bodies there. Weird room, no particular use. That archway leading onto the bay window. What a shame. It'd be beautiful as a room of sort. You could have that as a great big office or something, because it's at the back of the house. And then living room. So they're the only two rooms. Okay, so that'd be kitchen. You'd have a great big kitchen, a great big living room. That's all you need downstairs. So we're going up the steps now, which, again, the structural integrity of these steps, absolutely fine. Look at the wood, absolutely fine. It would not take all that much to restore this. So why aren't they doing it? Keep all the original coving if you can. Oh, it'd be so beautiful. So you've got a little room here. Well, I say little. None of these rooms are little, but little for the standards of these rooms. I don't know what that is. That's a partition wall. A stud wall, we call that in. Far back does that go? So again, even this room is big enough to have a shower, a toilet and a sink. No problem. But you'd want this to be your bathroom, the bigger room. And it's kind of on a corner. I can back out and show you that. It's at an angle. So again, you'd use that to your advantage to, restore it and keep that to respect the way it was built. Although these days you'd probably get some dickhead in here that'd say, right, knock that wall down, bring those square, make this room bigger and that room smaller. Why? Don't do that. Don't do that at all. You know, keep the original structure. And if you knock that wall down, which is red brick, you know they're going to rebuild that with bloody stud and with a stud wall, stud and plasterboard wall, shite. So keep it as is. So again, this would make a lovely house. This window here that's blocked off, I'd imagine that looked fucking amazing. Because that looks out over the yard that you'd have in front of you. Hang on a sec, I need to see if my other phone's recording. It's doing my head in 1 second. So I just had to make sure that my other phone was recording for the portrait view, which will be uploaded onto TikTok, and then obviously the landscape view will be uploaded onto Rumble and YouTube's, and yeah, I'd imagine I'll just put a link on X for the YouTube videos. What a building. What a shame. Okay, hang on. Okay, so I've just had a few notifications and a couple of calls come through, because London apparently is in chaos at the moment. That's the first house I went in. The second, that was the window that is boarded up that I was upstairs saying that would be lovely looking out over this. That'd be your landing sort of view. Who wouldn't want that? I mean, obviously once all of this is cleaned up. But what a waste. This video's gone for, it's probably going to be about 40 minutes long, so I might do one more and then save the rest for if and when my missus wants to come and take a look. That one is just going to be a reflection of that one, so it's not really worth doing that one. So let's take a look at this bogger right here. This Pixel, I'll tell you what, this Pixel phone is strange. I was walking around that last building and it didn't have a timer there, so I didn't know if it was recording or not, and that's why I had to stop recording, you see, to make sure I was actually filming footage and not just walking around talking to myself. So it didn't have a counter at all. I've started filming again and a little counter has just popped up at the bottom. It's so strange. Doesn't seem to be any consistency. So, as you can tell, I'm a little bit out of breath. Again, if you know anything about me, if you know my history, you'll know that I've pretty much been in bed for the last couple of years with depression. So I'm this is why I'm in the gym as well. So I'm recovering, and obviously I've got to build all my muscles up again, build up my lungs again. What's there, lads? No floor. Right, I'm going to call it a day, I think, and save the rest of these for if my missus wants to come and take a look, or if you guys want me to explore the rest of them, then let me know. Just let me know in the comments or whatever, if this is your kind of thing. If you like watching urban exploration videos, then I'm more than happy to comply with that and come to some of these buildings and explore them. But it's not going to be, I don't mind doing that on like a day, a week or something, you know. Just look at that building there. I love it. I love that building. But yeah, I wouldn't sort of change my main channel to just urban exploration or anything. But it is it is fun. I can see why people do it. It is fun, and for me anyway, it's a bit frustrating because that building there, I want that bloody building. so it's it can be a bit frustrating because you just, you know, I've lived in Lincolnshire for 10 years now, and I had no idea any of this was here. But just knowing that is sitting there, just doing nothing, just waste no. Look at the roof. That is near perfectly intact. Look. Remember what I was saying in the in that building about how the rafters and the bottom cords and the joists and everything are all still in good condition. Well, yeah, that's that's because it's been shielded by all the tiles and everything on the roof that are in still great condition. We don't build buildings like this anymore. It's built to last. That building, it's built to last. And we don't build like that anymore, and it's such a shame. Keir Starmer, if you're watching, buy this plot of land with our money and restore these buildings to their former glory, and do something with them. Just do something with them, for God's sake. Anyway, I can flip that camera on the Samsung without stopping recording. I can't on the Pixel, it would appear. So let's try. I think that just takes a pic. There's a button there where where the reverse camera should sort of flip the view, and I believe that just takes a picture. So I have to stop it, flip the camera, play it again. So obviously it's just a bit annoying, to be honest. I'm not slating the Pixel phones because they are good phones, and I have put my mother, father, my sister's got one as well, my girlfriend's mother has also got one, Pixel phones, because they are the most basic Android out there. They have no overlaying user interface or anything. So if you want a really easy to use phone for not stupid price, I mean, a Pixel 6 you can pick up now for about £120 on like a, what do you call it, refurbishment site, or like Facebook or something, and that is an absolute bargain. It really is. There are a few things that are a bit annoying. Like I said, sometimes there's inconsistency. Like I said, this is turning into a Pixel review now. Yeah, there's a few inconsistencies. I don't think they're quite there with the software that they put in there, and their own Android kind of user interface. But they're good. They're well worth the money. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a quick story. Before I go, just to finish up. Quick story to finish up. So my brother, he's got a P30 Pro. No, yeah, P30 Pro. I was going to say it's a P30, but it's not. It's a P30 Pro. He's had that for God knows how long, and he refuses to get rid of it. Point blank, refuses to get rid of it until it dies, until it just ceases to work anymore, and it just keeps going. And if any of you have had a Huawei phone before, then you'll know the cameras on them, all the specs and everything on them were phenomenal. They were brilliant. And even today, the P30 Pro, taking videos and pictures, it stands up against all these modern phones. It's crazy. So anyway, my brother, his P30 Pro, it died. The microphone stopped working on it, and he said, right, I've got to get a new phone now. So I said to him, look, get a Pixel 6, or if you want to spend, you can get a Pixel 6 for about 120. If you want to spend a little bit more, say 160, get a Pixel 7. Perfectly good phone, easy to use, nice one. He completely ignored me and went out and bought a P40 Pro. And I've told him so many times, the P30 Pro was the last phone to use Android. So if you have anything newer than a P30 Pro Huawei, it won't work with Android. They have their own operating system now, which is Harmony OS, Harmony operating system. And he went off and he bought this P40 Pro, and then he come back to me and he said, yeah, I've bought it. It's going to be a great phone. I can't wait to switch everything over. And I said to him, okay, so you know that's on Harmony? Yeah, that'll be fine. That's no problem. And I said to him, okay, what bank do you use? He told me what bank he used, and of course it came up. I googled it and it came up not compatible with Harmony OS. And I said, do you watch YouTube? Yeah, time to time, yeah, a little bit. Not compatible with Harmony OS. And it's like everything that he's got used to on the P30 Pro, he will either have to relearn or just not be able to use it on the P40 Pro because it doesn't work anymore. Anyway, his phone started to, annoyingly, his phone started to work again, so it doesn't even look like he's going to change. It doesn't even look like he's going to have to upgrade to anything. He's keeping his P30 Pro. He's adamant. He's sticking with it. This phone's going to be buried with me, you know. Yeah, I guess, yeah. He's still clearly part of the generation that that keeps things and restores things like that bloody building, rather than being part of the modern generation that once something's broken, just throw it away, get something new, you know. And there's a lot to be said for that. But I'm going to finish there. Thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, frankly, you should be given a medal. Because I ramble and I talk shit, and I'm a bit of a twat, so, you know. But thank you for watching if you've made it this far. I'm going to go now and get back to reporting on some news, I guess. I want to know what's going on in London, why it's in chaos at the moment, apparently. And, right, ending the video now. Thank you for watching.